Hello everybody and welcome back to Chris Plays Madden. Here's my top 5 running backs of all time. This top 5 was rated on rushing touchdowns, rushing yards, and averages. Also receiving touchdowns, receiving yards, and average. I also looked at attempts, but I didn't include those numbers. Number 5, LaDainian Tomlinson. LT was selected 5th overall pick in the 2001 NFL Draft. He played with the Chargers from 2001 to 2010, then the Jets from 2010 to 2011. He was voted to 5 Pro Bowls and was All-Pro 6 times. LaDainian won the MVP award in 2007 and also added 2 rushing titles. He was the 4th fastest player to reach 10,000 yards. At retirement, he ranked 5th in rushing yards with 13,684, averaging 4.3 yards per carry. He also had 4,772 receiving yards, averaging 7.6 yards per catch, totaling 145 rushing touchdowns and 17 receiving touchdowns. Now on to number 4. Number 4, Gale Sayers. Also known as the Kansas Comet, Sayers played with the Chicago Bears from 1965 to 1972. In his rookie season, he had 22 touchdowns, 14 rushing, 6 receiving, and 1 on punt and kick returns. He is ranked highest in kick return average with 30.56. At retirement in 1972, after a short career due to 2 knee injuries on the left and right knee, he managed to amass 4,956 rushing yards on 5 yards per carry, adding 1,307 receiving yards, averaging 11.7 yards per catch, totaling 39 rushing touchdowns and 9 receiving touchdowns, adding 5 kick return touchdowns and 1 punt return touchdown. Now on to number 3. Number 3, Jim Brown. I had him at number 1, but someone brought to my attention that he played with much smaller and slower players. Selected with the 6th pick in the 1957 draft, he played with the Cleveland Browns from 1957 to 1965. He was the first ever player to reach the 100 rushing touchdown milestone and was voted to the Pro Bowl every season he played. In 1966, he finished with 12,312 rushing yards, averaging 5.2 yards per carry, also adding 2,499 receiving yards, averaging 9.2 yards per catch, totaling 106 rushing touchdowns with 22 receiving touchdowns. Now on to number 2. Number 2, Walter Payton. My vote at number 1, but after much thought and discussion, days later I decided to put him at number 2, but it was not easy, especially being a Bears fan. Nicknamed Sweetness, Payton played for the Chicago Bears from 1975 to 1987, a 9-time Pro Bowler. He also added 8 touchdown passes to his resume. In 1988, after a fantastic career, he finished with 16,726 rushing yards, averaging 4.4 yards per carry, also adding 4,538 receiving yards, averaging 9.2 yards per catch, totaling 110 rushing touchdowns with 15 receiving touchdowns. My favorite thing about him was that signature move, the stutter step. Now on to number 1. Number 1, Barry Sanders. Selected with the 3rd pick in the 1989 draft, Barry played with the Detroit Lions from 1989 to 1998. Sanders achieved Pro Bowl status in all of his 10 seasons, winning Offensive Player of the Year in 1994 and 1997. also receiving NFL MVP in 1997. After retirement in 1999, he finished with 15,296 rushing yards, averaging 5 yards per carry, also adding 2,921 receiving yards, averaging 8.3 yards per catch, totaling 99 rushing touchdowns with 10 receiving touchdowns. Sanders went to the playoffs 5 times in his career, but never made it to the Super Bowl, largely due to the fact of lack of talent around him. Thanks for watching my top 5 running backs of all time video. Subscribe, leave a like below, and stay tuned for more top 5s.